What's your initial reaction to this decision that Palestine Action has been prescribed?
I think it's a good first step. The next step has got to be to prescribe the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Council.
OK.
And that should,
talk us through that. Why should we be prescribing them?
It's an organ of Iran.
OK.
And it's spent the last few years gathering information on prominent Jews in London and elsewhere in the UK, with a view to conveying that information to terrorist groups, so that when they eventually wish to take matters much more seriously, they may start assassinating prominent Jews in the UK. I know that many organisations, particularly the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism, has been calling for that.
Right.
So what happened today was a good first step, but it's not the end. We have to do more.
Let me ask a question I think will be on many people's minds. These people, firstly, broke into an RAF base, which raises some pretty big questions about national security, infrastructure, and also what on earth is happening within the British state if it's this easy to get in and damage our key military assets. So there's some big questions for the British state here. But the other question I just want you to ponder is, why on earth has it taken this long, and to be frank, to see this embarrassing footage for the state, for it to take action against this group?
I think that this today was a little different from past abominations from that group. In the past, they've sprayed paint over large numbers of branches of Barclays Bank. They damaged a picture in Cambridge University of Lord Balfour and also some busts at Manchester University of Chaim Weizmann. What has happened today is we've actually seen a direct attack on British interests, much more so than in the past. And this group is essentially against British history, British culture, British values, British traditions. And Nigel Farage was 100% right in calling for them to be scrapped.
And do you think that we could now perhaps begin to get to a place whereby there is a more assertive state response to these pro-Palestine groups that have clearly been fomenting violence and conflict on our streets? I was personally quite struck at the refusal of the state to take more serious action against some of the marches and the protesters, for example, clamping down very quickly after Southport, I noticed, but refusing to take similar action on some of those marches and demonstrations back after October the 7th?
Well, the straight answer is I hope so.
Yeah.
My second answer would be to say that if the Iranian regime under the mullahs actually falls, we will actually see an improvement, because there'll be less financing going into these organisations that run these marches and finance anti-British hatred. It's not just anti-Jewish hatred or anti-Semitism, it's anti-British hatred.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And just lastly, before I go to the panel, and we'll get some of your reaction to that, how's the mood in Britain's Jewish communities right now? It's
frightened. It's negative. There are many Jews who are contemplating moving abroad, sadly. And it's nervous. But the thoughts of the Jewish community right now are with what's happening in Israel and Iran, predominantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think they agree with me that if the Iranian regime falls, things will improve.